welcome back to my channel. It's the Timely Teacherpreneur here. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rainey Barton and I am an elementary music teacher by day, a circus instructor by night, a mom all around, and a teacherpreneur productivity mentor. So I help teacherpreneurs master their time and their energy while scaling their biz so that they can ditch the hustle and grind, break up with busy, and work less and make more. So if you're all about productivity tips and strategies for being your best productive teacherpreneur self, then definitely stick around. So I wanted to hop on here before I start and just talk a little bit about why I took the last 2 or 3 weeks off of YouTube. Yes, I know, I hear all the YouTube people say you should never take time off because that's gonna mess with the algorithm. But you know what? Sometimes you just need a break. And these last 3 weeks have just been really hard. There's been a lot of personal stuff going on and other stuff. And I just felt like I didn't want to show up inauthentically on YouTube. And yes, I preach batching and things, which is what we're gonna talk about in this video. But I did not batch in April. It didn't happen. I took all of my time and my effort to batch my blog posts, and then everything else just kind of went off the rails. So it's okay, we've survived, we are back in. And so in today's video, we're gonna be talking all about how I batch basically everything in my business and how I center it all around themed days. Themed days is how I get it all done. I could not do everything that I need to do in my business if I didn't have a specific and direct game plan for it. So by the end of this video, I hope you know how to utilize themed days into your business, and you can start to see how I operate mine and start to see how you can work yours for yourself. So if that's interesting to you, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video, and let's dive into batching. Okay, so let's actually talk batching in case you have no idea what that is. Batching is this big buzzword, but basically it's just taking like-minded tasks and lumping them together and completing them all in the same sitting or in different periods. So for example, in a typical batch session, instead of taking one podcast and going from start to finish with it, so recording the podcast and then also editing it and then also writing your show notes and then also uploading it all in one sitting, that requires a lot of different parts of your brain to be focusing, like your creative side, your analytical side, and that's technically considered task switching or task hopping, where you're moving from task to task and they don't actually require the same brain power or the same focus, and that actually makes you lose focus and get distracted more easily. So instead, with batching, you would batch the same exact thing. So you would record 4 podcast episodes in one sitting, because then all you're doing is recording and you can just spit them out like that. And then you would edit them all in another sitting. You'd write the show notes for them all in another sitting. You'd upload them all in another sitting, so that your brain's not having to switch anything at all, and they're easily more likely to get done, because the more you do, the more you get there. So for example, I'm doing a 30-day Reels challenge, and I'm about to batch record a crap ton of Reels. And so if I just record them all in one sitting, I'll already have the momentum after doing 2 or 3, and I'll just want to keep going. Instead of being like, oh, well, I made this Reel, now I need to go and, add all the text to it. And then I need to create my cover photos and make sure that it makes my feed look pretty. And yes, that's all important, but don't do it all in that same sitting. You're going to lose momentum fast. So that's what batching is. And we want to try to avoid the task hopping or task switching, which is why we try to lump all of those like-minded items together. So now let's talk about how that could look like in our teacherpreneur business and how I utilize themed days. Now, everything that you see in this video is going to be through the lens of my Trello board, because if we haven't learned by now, Trello is my best friend. I feel like I talk about Trello all of the time, and no, they don't sponsor me, but if they want to, they can, because I do free advertising marketing for them all the time. But this is where I keep my life. I just look at my schedule in there and know, okay, Monday is product creation day, or Wednesday is marketing day, whatever day it is. Now, of course, things may change and I might have to move things over from time to time, but pretty consistently, this is how my business runs. So let me walk you through it, and then we'll see what questions you might have at the end. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you really quickly how I use a Trello board to map out my themed days, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more into what you need to consider when you're trying to do a themed day. Now, this is not my actual board. This is one that I was planning on creating to give to all of you. It might not be up by the time this video airs, but it'll be up super soon after. But basically, because I also didn't want to give away all the goods of what I'm working on in my board. But this is how I make it work. I have a weekly focus. I know everybody says, like, don't have more than 3 things to do. I have a giant to-do list, and I will show my Trello to-do list in another day. You're going to look at it and go, holy crap. But for weekly focuses, I've only ever tried to work on 3 things at a time. When it gets to more than 3, it just gets undoable and more likely that you're not going to fulfill everything. And the 3 things I have on my task are pretty big. Like this week, I need to create module 2 of the batching breakdown. I need to batch record some reels for this Real Simple challenge that I'm doing with Teacher Hustle University. And then I need to work on my farmhouse music decor because it's almost summer and that's not done. So that needs to be done ASAP. And so if I wanted, which I do have this on my other Trello board, I have the actual steps that I would need to take, and I would put it right here in a checklist. So that's just really easy. And then you can take those tasks and move them onto here, which I didn't do that, but I'll show you an example. So here's a running to-do list. That's where I put all the ideas and thoughts that I would have this week to put into my major to-do list board. So any running ideas that I get, I'll just put them here during this week, and then I will schedule them out into my giant to-do list board at the end of the week. And then this is how I theme my days. So Sundays are content creation days. That's the day that I create content. I batch my Instagram content weekly, so I will write my 3 to 4 Instagram posts on Sunday. It takes like an hour. It's not anything crazy. I record all of my YouTube videos on Sunday. I don't edit them and things. I do that on a different day, which we'll get to in a minute. But I at least record all my YouTube videos. And if I am writing a blog post, although I'm not writing any blog posts right now because I batched for all of quarter 2, this is when I would do blog posts. I have to work on the weekends. I work a 9 to 5. I have a kid. Like, I have to work on the weekends. So I make it work, and Sunday is content creation day in my business. Mondays are rest days. I don't do anything on Mondays. I work. I go and pick up my son. I spend an hour or 2 with him. I drop him off at my sister's, or my husband's watching him. I go teach circus for 2 hours. I get home at 9. I'm exhausted. My brain is fried. I'm not going to do work, so I'm not going to even try. Mondays, I don't do anything. Tuesdays is client work day. So this is the day that I dedicate to my clients if I have clients. Right now, I'm not doing any done for you workflows. I'm not doing any private productivity coaching or mentoring at the exact moment. So instead of it being used towards those clients, I'm using it to do course creation since I'm going to be launching my batching breakdown course at the end of May, beginning of June. And so I'm going to have clients through that, the course members. So I'm dedicating my time on Tuesday to working on the course. Wednesdays are TPT days. That is just when I do all things TPT. One week it might be doing product creation. Another might be writing product descriptions. Another might be doing the previews and covers and uploading. That way I try to do it all in one sitting. So I'll just work on creation for one day. And then I'll write on product descriptions for another day and uploading them all in one sitting so that it's not like, oh, one product here, another product there, another product here. It's like 5 products all at once. Ooh, look, all these things you can buy from me. So Wednesdays is when I try to work on my TPT business. And then Thursdays is marketing days. I also kind of put TPT in this as well because I don't have a crap ton to do for marketing right now. It's mainly just creating pins for Pinterest, creating graphics for Instagram to like promote my products, and creating like the links and things for like in my blogs and whatnot to promote my products. And it's not like a lot right now. I'm not doing like Facebook ads or anything yet. So I typically stack on TPT as well with this. And then Friday is my admin day. It says Thursdays. Oops, didn't edit this. Friday is my admin day. That's where I do like all the major administrative tasks in my business. So I do the bills for the family because our paydays are every Friday. Because it just so worked out that my husband's payday and then my payday are on opposite weeks. And then I do finances. So within that, I have a bookkeeper. Why am I forgetting it right now? What it's called? I will share it underneath here. But it's really affordable bookkeeping for business people, and they will organize all of your business expenses and stuff for you and meet with you often to like ask about expenses. So this is typically where I'll categorize my expenses. I'll file my receipts for them. I'll answer any questions they have and talk with my bookkeeper if I need to, because come tax time, I want to be ready. And then just any other admin stuff I do. If there's specific people that I have to call or email, which actually that should be here. If there's specific people I have to call or email, that's when I do all of this task work. And then Saturdays is a catch-up day. I'm pretty busy with circus on Saturdays, so I use the end of the day to just catch up on whatever I didn't get done. So mainly I'll go back to my weekly focus, and if I got nowhere near done with any of these, then I'll reassess for next week. But if there's one that I just got a little behind on, I'll typically tack it on to Saturday. Same thing with anything that just didn't get by here. Like if there was a product I really wanted to finish on Wednesday and I still have like, I don't know, 1/4 left of finishing it, I'll probably finish it then. And also Sunday, I forgot to mention, is also like my personal growth day. So that's when I'll like watch courses that I've bought, or like do master classes, or like just do things like to help soothe my soul as well. But this is just one way of looking at how you could theme your business. You don't have to do it this way. This is what works well for me. I would love to hear what works well for you and like how it differs. But let me just share my top tips for how to actually utilize themed days and batching and all of that stuff into your work. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why I love using themed days in my business and how it all, helps with batching and whatnot. So the first thing that it does is gets rid of having to make those decisions. Have you ever sat down at your desk and went, all right, I have an hour to work on my business. What am I going to do? And you sit there for 30 minutes and you don't get anything done because you were like, oh, I should work on this. Oh, I should work on this. Maybe I should work on this. And you don't have anything done. Girl, or guys, you need to know exactly what you're going to do when you sit down to work. So wouldn't it be that much easier if you had the themed days to guide you? And then I would even break it down further than that. If you know that Thursdays is marketing and that you're going to create pins, then know exactly which blog posts you're going to sit down and create pins for. And how many pins are you going to create? Are they going to be vertical? Are they going to be horizontal? Do you have a process for that's mapped out that you could just open into your binder and go, it's Pinterest day. Here's the list. Let's go, baby. And I promise that's all going to be taught in the batching breakdown, which I'll talk about at the end, my course. But anyway, that's what you want to be. That's how specific you want to be. So it's really awesome because then when you get a task that you need to do for the week, and maybe it's an unexpected task, like if you are a done-for-you service provider, like Teacherpreneur business as well, and a client says, I really need to meet with you and talk about something that I'm confused on. Can you meet with me? If you already have client calls and stuff scheduled into your work week, like maybe Tuesday is your client day, then you can say, yeah, sure, let's move that to next Tuesday. I'll schedule you. We'll have a chat. Great. Or for example, if your bookkeeper says, hey, I really need to talk with you and talk about XYZ in your bookkeeping business, you can go, great, Fridays I dedicate to bookkeeping, so let's drop it on the calendar there. That way, it's kind of like you're just taking things and dragging and dropping them where they need to be so that everything has a place, you know exactly where it's going to go. Now that also means that sometimes a task is going to come across and you're not going to have time for it. You're going to have to say no to it. Do you know how many things I have to say no to because I just literally am one woman and cannot do it all? Or things that I forget because I tried to do it all. Yeah, that's really bad. People hate when you forget stuff that you said you would do. Anyway, sometimes you're going to have to say no to stuff, and that's okay. You have to be realistic with your time. You only have 24 hours. 8 of that, hopefully more likely 6 if you're me, is dedicated to sleeping, and then 8 is to working, and then 2 more for me, you know, driving back and forth from my school, and then before you know it, it's like you have 3 hours to work on your life, and that's basically it. So you have to be really careful with the time that you have. My next thing when you're trying to figure out how to set up your batch and themed weeks is to take all of the things that you do in your business and write them all out. Then once you do that, you can see what like-minded things could go together on like specific days. And then from there, you can drag and drop them around and create an actual system. Oh, Sundays is going to be my marketing days and it includes XYZ. Tuesdays is going to be my TPT days and that includes this, that, and the other. And then just drag, drop, move it around. The best part is you can change it to adapt it to what you need it to be. What's going to work for Sally Sue is not going to work for you. What works for me might not work for you. So definitely do what is best for you and your business. And the biggest reminder I can give you is that things are not always going to go the way you wanted it to. Let me repeat that. Things will not go the way that you want it to. There are weeks where my whole week went by and I went, that was an epic fail. Like this last week, it was an epic fail. And that's okay. Sometimes it just has to be like that. You got to roll with the punches and deal with it. And then there's other weeks where I was like, man, I killed the game and everything was like, as my kids would have said like a year ago, on fleek. I can't believe I said that. But anyway, sometimes things are going to go really well and sometimes things aren't. And you just have to know that, I mean, you're human. Like, it's just going to work out like that. And so you're going to soon learn what's too much to put on your plate within a week and what's not enough. And then you can start to like adjust and make shifts where it needs to be and that's necessary. That's all I have for you guys today. So thanks very much for watching my video. I hope that was really helpful for you so that you can, one, understand what batching is in case that's just a word that you've heard and you didn't really know how to utilize it in your business. And then two, how to actually lump your like-minded days together and like-minded tasks so that you can finally create a schedule that works for you. And if you're interested in learning a lot more about this, then come June 7th, I will be launching my signature program, the Batching Breakdown, where it's basically going to teach you the inside out of how I run my business through batching, through my systems, through my workflows. And I'm giving you templates and like all of the stuff for this. Like I have my founding members right now going through module 1. I'm releasing module 2 to them later, and they cannot wait. You are going to unlock the win of productivity, and you are going to know when to do specific tasks, why, how to implement it into your daily life, and we are gonna get productive. So I'm gonna drop the waitlist down below in case you're interested for launch day, because I have a special bonus for you waitlisters. And with that, I'm gonna let you go. Make sure if you liked this video and it was helpful for you to like, subscribe, and share to your friends so that they can all find it too, because I'm just gonna share as much knowledge as I can on here. So take it while you can. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm on nap time hustle, so I'm gonna actually start filling out the rest of this content board for quarter 3. And I'll catch you later. Bye guys.